Hey, also MCA here, and we are back with part 2 of Do You Speak Drummer? By now, if you don't know, I'm just going to show a video, then I'll come back and I'll talk about it. I'll point out some things that we need to be listening for, and then give some examples as to what you can or can't do, your option, and we'll go from there, okay? Remember, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'll put it here. If you want to give a donation, you are also free to do that. Let's get into the example. All right, so this is one you may run into if you go to a smaller church or if you go to a church where the musicians are still developing. What this drummer is telling us is that they're not used to playing with the bass player. They're not used to playing with the bass player. They're not used to establishing a groove, they're not used to locking in on a groove, or maybe they're telling us that they're a beginner and they don't know that that's something that you should do. All right. So I don't want to say they're playing wrong because I don't really believe in saying wrong. They just need to develop a little bit more. Okay. And so what you should do with someone of this nature is something like this. I'll use the same example I did before. They're clearly not giving us anything to lock into on the kick drum. So tell them what you want. And sorry, y'all, didn't go back far enough in my track. Let's try that again. Just lock them in there. I put my head in it if they're still not getting it. All right. And the truth is, they may get it, they may not get it. Again, if they don't know, they don't know. And it may be something you have to have a conversation with them at the end of the service. If it becomes very frustrating to you, maybe you'll say, hey, follow me, I would just try to handle this as kindly as possible. It may frustrate you. Try to get through it as best as you can. And remember, they just may not know better. You hear some of the hiccups in their playing, you hear some of the other things, just try your best. And as a drummer who didn't always have a bass player, I can tell you I didn't know better. I would just play whatever felt like it felt good. I didn't know that you're supposed to lock in on any kind of foundation thing because a lot of times keyboardists or organists may not know that. All right. They're just playing their medley, whatever. And you have a 2-piece band and, the drummer does what the drummer does and the keyboardist does what the keyboardist does. They just want you to keep tempo and, keep the energy. But when you get a bass player, you're introducing a different facet. Now, there are people out there, men and women out there, who really understand groove and really understand music. And as an organist or a keyboardist, they will get you to lock into something. But it's not always the case. Particularly, I find it happens usually in smaller churches or in churches where the musicians are still developing. All right, let's do one other example, and then I'll let y'all go. Okay, what is being communicated to us here? This is a drummer that wants everyone to know that they can play. They want you to know that it is showtime on their time. They want you to know they're not really looking for anybody else to get any shine. They're not looking for anybody else to have any attention paid to them. And this is one of my favorite examples. I talked about this in a bass clinic that I did. Inevitably, you're going to run into this at some point, a drummer who really just wants everyone to pay attention to them. And this drummer intentionally is doing a lot and also has some bad timing. And so how do we handle this as a bass player now that we know what's being told to us? I always say don't go head to head with a drummer. All right, so I'm going to stay in E flat for this purpose, and let me show you how to handle this. You know what I'll do? I'll put in the actual example that I did from my clinic in a video card above, all right, if you want to check that out. But let's handle this. Here we go. Right? And I just locked in. I just locked in as best I could, even when the tempo went off a little bit. Maybe he came in a little early. Maybe he came in a little late. At one point, he went to odd time signature. But as much as he was doing and as clear as it was that he wanted all attention on him, I actually made him sound good. I made him sound, there were parts where it seemed like we were locked into a groove. And all I was doing, just found the easiest groove I could find with the most space in it. And I just stayed there. All right. And give him all the space. Just stay out of his way or stay out of her way. Just let them have at it. Because if it's a concert, not so bad. All right. And in these specific examples, these are when you're coming up against people you don't know, like you're just meeting them for the first time, playing with them. It will happen in church at some point. You'll play with people you don't know. If you know someone, you know their tendencies, you can prepare for them. But we're saying if you're not prepared, and just try to lock in as best you can, do the best you can, and get through it, and put that person on your list of people not to play with. If you see them again the next time, just like, I'll pass. I'm good. No, thank you. All right, so this has been part 2 of Do You Speak Drummer? Hopefully, this quick little series has been helpful to you. You've learned something. If you have any questions, any comments, anything else that you'd be interested in, other examples, whatever the case is, let me know. And maybe I can put something else together like this, all right? Until next time, I'm Soul MCA. Please remember to like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. If you desire to give a donation, it will be below. I thank you all. I appreciate your patience with me during the season where I haven't been as active as I've previously been. I appreciate all of the kind words and those of you that are begging for me to come back. I'm trying. I really, really am trying. And hopefully we'll see each other a lot more frequently. All right, take care. Until next time, I'm Soul MCA.